गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्। हरि ओम। परमात्मा ज्ञानात्मा परमात्मा ज्ञानात्मा सत्यात्मा सूत्रात्मा सत्यात्मा सूत्रात्मा अक्षरात्मा अंतरात्मा अक्षरात्मा अंतरात्मा विराटात्मा विश्वात्मा विराटात्मा विश्वात्मा हिरण्यात्मा तैजसात्मा हिरण्यात्मा तैजसात्मा प्राज्ञात्मा ईश्वरात्मा प्राज्ञात्मा ईश्वरात्मा ओंकार ब्रह्मात्मा ओंकार ब्रह्मात्मा साकार सगुणात्मा साकार सगुणात्मा निराकार निर्गुणात्मा निराकार निर्गुणात्मा नमो नमो अद्वयात्मा नमो नमो अद्वयात्मा ओंकार ब्रह्मात्मा ओंकार ब्रह्मात्मा साकार सगुणात्मा साकार सगुणात्मा निराकार निर्गुणात्मा निराकार निर्गुणात्मा नमो नमो अद्वयात्मा नमो नमो अद्वयात्मा परमात्मा ज्ञानात्मा परमात्मा ज्ञानात्मा सत्यात्मा सूत्रात्मा सत्यात्मा सूत्रात्मा परमात्मा ज्ञानात्मा परमात्मा ज्ञानात्मा ओम नमो वासुदेवाय सत्यज्ञानसुखात्मने अखण्डायाप्यमूलाय मायिने सर्वसाक्षिणे ओंकारः सर्ववेदानां सारस्तत्त्वप्रकाशकः तेन चित्तसमाधानं मुमुक्षूणां प्रकाश्यते आसीदेकं परं ब्रह्म नित्यमुक्तमविक्रियम् तत्स्वमाया समावेशाद् बीजमव्याकृतात्मकम् बीजमव्याकृतात्मकम् हरि ओम। In the spiritual field, in the evolutionary path connected with the spirituality, freedom means to get released from the entrapment and to get into empowerment. Release from the entrapment and getting into empowerment. How can this happen? This happens when the courage is there in the individual to face the situation and to do something about it. When there is this courage in the individual to face the situation and there is readiness to do something about it, then the empowerment happens. To empower oneself, one needs to have the courage. And this can happen when there is true knowledge about oneself and also about one's connection with the various levels of the manifestation of the Supreme Consciousness. Then one can become courageous by knowing about the connectivity, the connection, which is true and real. Only when one does not know about it, then one feels that there is no power. One may not feel empowered. Normally, empowerment is connected to worldly power or at the most the power of the mind. But here the connection is with the various higher manifestations of the pure consciousness at the macro level. And at the same time, because of that higher connection, one is ready to uplift oneself and focus on that connection with the supreme sources. And also, one is ready to transcend the limitations of the lower level, of the micro level, by being in love, by being in a state of forgiveness, and also by being in a state of compassion. Love, forgiveness, and compassion. By being in these three states, which have fine and pure expressions of love, forgiveness, and compassion, one can go beyond the body identification. To go beyond the body identification, one needs this love, forgiveness, and compassion. Otherwise, one remains entrapped at the body level because of the identification with the body and then various things that are connected with the body. One not only needs the knowledge of the connection which gives the courage to get empowered, one also needs the means to go beyond the body identification. And then what happens? One gets connected with what one is in truth. The basis of all healing techniques is to be in a state of love with oneself. To be in a state of love with oneself means to be in love with what one is in truth. What one is in reality. What one is in truth is not different from Brahman. So to be in love with oneself means here to be in love with Brahman as oneself, as one's own self. Panchikaranam also finally leads us into that level where we are in true love with one's own self, that is Brahman. And once this is gained, then the same Brahman, when it is perceived as different manifestations in the creation, one is in love with them also. One is in true love with them. One is in pure love with them. One is in a state of forgiveness with them. One is in a state of compassion with them. Because thereafterwards the individual does not see them as them separated from Brahman and oneself, then the individual sees them or they as one with oneself, which is not different from Brahman. Otherwise, to be in love with oneself means to be in love with ego, which always sees separation from everything else in this universe. So to be in love with oneself here is totally of a different meaning. And then there is no need to change anybody in the world outside. Because where is the other to change? The other is only oneself. Oneself is Brahman. Brahman is all the other. So then what happens? Then instead of seeking a change in the other and remaining in entrapment, one gets into empowerment by loving, forgiving, and being compassionate. So when we are in love, in forgiveness and compassion, we don't give much prominence to the negativities. Because to give prominence to the negativities means to get stuck up in the negative energy field. Negative energy field ties us down to low levels of consciousness. So, to transcend those levels, we need to establish a clear understanding and connection with the higher sources. That one is not different from them. First, we can connect with these manifested sources at the micro, and then connect them with the macro level. Vyashti to Samashti. And then through Samashti, once we feel empowered, that I am connected with that mighty thing which is the totality, then from there it is easy to go into the ultimate source of all manifestation. That is a very qualitative, contemplative, meditative technique, which can easily establish our connection with the higher, and we feel empowered. Please understand here, empowerment is not a limited level, empowerment is connected to the infinite level or unlimited level. And when we have forgiveness and love and compassion, then we don't resist what happens to us also. When an event happens, we don't resist that event. Even when some illness happens, or any other event or circumstance happens, and a result of that event or circumstance, and so much of energy is coming out of us, the stored energy, the suppressed energy, then one will remain with the event, will not resist. The resistance to these sensations creates more inconvenience to us. So one remains with the event, one surrenders totally to the sensation. Then what happens? We remain with the sensation instead of remaining with so many thoughts which we may have about that sensation, about that event, about that expression of energy. When we remain with that sensation and not with the thoughts connected with that sensation, we let go of resistance of it. When we let go of resistance of it, by letting go of resisting it, we make that experience disappear, meaning we make that sensation disappear from our experience. It is observed by great masters that when we do not resist a sensation, the sensation disappears from our experience, because the energy goes out. Resistance gives power over us. Whenever we resist anything, that gets power over us. And once it gets power over us, we are entrapped there. Whenever we try to resist, then we are trapped there. The suffering increases. It goes beyond our control. And we will be subject to that because we are holding to that in the mind, and we are subject to what we hold in the mind. So, here, when that resistance is surrendered to the will of God, when we surrender ourselves to the will of God, what is the will of God for us? Truly speaking, the will of God for us is oneness with Him. What does God will? God wills that we become one with Him and then experience His state of blissfulness. So the will of God is our experience of blissfulness and oneness with Him. Oneness with Him and blissfulness. That is the will of God for us. So when we surrender our life's experiences, then we become one with godliness. Not only that, when we surrender our life's experiences to God, then what happens is we come to discover that some other power which is other than us, which is different from us, which is more superior to us, will start handling these experiences. Life's experiences, if resisted, they will trap us. If we only think we have to manage them, they will overpower us. If we surrender them to God, some superior power will start handling these experiences. It will come into our knowledgeable level that we also come to see and feel that something else is handling these experiences. To make them handle these experiences, Adi Shankaracharya ji gives us this connection of Virata to Vishwa, of Hiranyagarbha to Taijasa, and of Ishvara to Prajna, which we are going to see now. Because whenever we involve in various interpretations of the internal organ or antakarana, thoughts about something, then the thoughts about something will not allow us to face what is. When they don't allow us to face what is, we get trapped in projections of what is. That goes on. So there were two people discussing between themselves, and one was talking about the differences that he has with his wife and all that. And then he asked the other person, don't you have similar differences with your wife? And any problems because of differences? He said, I never have any problems connected with differences with my wife. Wow! How is that? You never have any problems of differences with your wife? How can that happen? Don't you ever have any differences? He said, I have many differences of opinion. Then I never let her know about them. I keep them in my mind. I never tell her. So there is no problem. Problem arises when you relate them to her. No, when you tell, then the problem arises. I don't tell. So there is no problem. I said there is no problem of differences. I never said there are no differences. Differences are, I don't give value to them. I don't choose to identify with them. I don't choose to give importance to them. So I am not influenced by them. So I am not trapped by them. So I don't fight because of them. So the relationship goes on smoothly and very happily. So this is a practical thing in our relationship. But when you apply same thing in spirituality also, when we relate with events and circumstances, about the events, about the circumstances, about the illness, about the disease, about various other things, about the sensations, we have thoughts about it. Then we have opinions about it. Then we identify with them, then we resist. Then we get into conflict with the event, circumstance, situation, sensation, and then get entrapped by them. Then we suffer. So that is why, instead of that, we can let these things go at our level and let something else handle it. Let go, another meaning, a new meaning we can give to let go. Let go means, okay, let it go. Let everything go. Don't interfere with it. Allow it to go. It will go anyway. But another new meaning is let it go means you don't handle them. You let them be handled by some superior power. It is easy. When it is ready to handle, why we have to handle unnecessarily? It is like children when they are carrying some heavy thing, the parents immediately would come to their help and say they take it from them. Any elderly person would come to their help and they immediately take it. They say, we will take care of it. Why do you want to carry? Then the child enjoys, that's all. So we also, if we become like that and get connected to the superior sources of power, they will handle it. In a way, they are only handling it. Actually, they are only handling it. It is like one village farmer got into a train. And then he had a heavy suitcase on his head. And then he sat in the train by keeping that suitcase on his head only. And then I go, why are you keeping on the head? No, it will become heavy to the train. If I keep it, it will become heavy to the train. How can it become heavy? Already it is only managing. So all that one has to know is that one need not carry that heavy burden. All that it needs to be done is, it is to be surrendered. Let it go. That surrender is being explained with knowledge, which is a very meaningful proposition for us. If we can understand, we can easily get into a deal with the Supreme. I leave it, so he will manage it. But only thing is, this ego will not be ready to leave it. The leaving is important. Just to be with it and leave it. If we are with it, don't resist it. If we are with it, it will go. Like there was one person who was living in apartments, and they were of 50 floors apartments. So the owner of the apartment was a police officer. He used to live on the ground floor. He had a special flat built for himself. He used to stay there. And all other tenants used to stay in all the 50 other floors, 49 other floors. One day, one of the tenants who lived on the 50th floor came rushing to him at 2 a.m. and then rang the bell and knocked the door. And this man opened 2 a.m. What happened? Sir, you are not only the owner, but also a police officer. Is it not? The owner said, this question has to be asked at 2 a.m. Is this interviewing time? No, please let me know. He said, yeah. Then please come and control that lady who is yelling at me like anything, shouting at me like anything. Please come and control that lady on the 50th floor. Then he said, who is that lady? My wife. Then that police officer said, see my dear, I will tell you one thing. Instead of I coming and controlling, you can only control. How can I control her? He said, not controlling her, control yourself. How? Simply let her say whatever she wants to say. She is yelling, let her yell. She is shouting, let her shout. After a while, she will only keep quiet. If you interfere in between and resist and say, don't do that, she will do it more. You will increase her energy and capacity to shout by resisting. Keep quiet. All that energy will come out. Once that energy comes out, she will feel tired and she will be quiet. When she becomes quiet, give her a nice juice. Prepare a fresh fruit juice and give it to her and tell her, I love you. She will get confused. What is this fellow up to? I went on shouting. He accepted everything and then now he brings a juice. You are tired. You feel very exhausted. Please have the juice and relax. Hare? Then afterwards, the relationship will totally change. At least for that moment, you will experience a difference. She will not have that hatred on you. She will have a different feeling. So this is the benefit of not resisting. So even the pain also, even the sensation also, even the disease also, even the suffering also, if we don't resist and offer them to God, then totally it will be in the care of God. So care of God. Let go means care of God. Simple. Care of God. Hand it over to Him. He will take care. Why should we hold on to it? There was one husband who received a letter. And nowadays, when everything is received in email, there are people who send in postal letters. Postal department is very happy about them. They are planning some awards and rewards and all that. So, he received a letter. He opened the letter. The moment he read it, he started shouting at his wife. I knew these fellows are like that. Your brother is like that. Your father is another culprit. Your mother is a dangerous personality. See what they are telling? Always depend upon me, eat my brain, and then always take my support and then always depend upon my money, always they're dependent on me. Ever since I married you, everybody depends on me. What is this? How long I have to tolerate this? The wife was surprised because she didn't get any message from her brother or her mother or father that they are seeking something. What happened? See this letter. Then she read it. Then she understood it is neighbor's letter. Then she came and told him, see the address. It is neighbor's address. Oh. The moment he understood it was neighbor's address. No, I knew they are not like that. All that anger, all that frustration, all that irritation suddenly slumped. He is no more with that irritation. He is freed from it. Why? Care of neighbor. Suddenly all that letter is care of neighbor. Hurry, why should I? Because it is not mine. Similarly, if we can say to what we are facing, care of God, He will take care. All that we have to say is care of God, but the ego will not let it go. That is why we have to let it go. See, going beyond bhokturtva, enjoyership is not to be afraid of, oh, I have to work and then he will enjoy. What is this? Can't I enjoy minimum things? Going beyond enjoyership means going beyond these things, suffering unnecessarily, resisting and suffering. So leave it to Him, He will take care. So then, we will go into the text about the causal state today. Shariradvaya-karanam Atma ajnanam sabhasam avyakritam iti uchyate etat karana shariram atmanaha tatcha na sat na asat na api satasat na bhinnam na abhinnam na api bhinna abhinnam kutahachit na niravayavam na sa avayavam na ubhayam kintu kevala brahma atma ekatva jnana apanodhyam sa abhasam atma ajnanam shariradvaya karanam. The nescience of the Atman, which is the cause of both gross and subtle bodies. How? Sa abhasam. The nescience of the Atman connected with the reflection of the pure consciousness. The pure consciousness is reflected in the Maya, in the avidya. The reflection of the consciousness in Maya is having the ignorance. The reflection of consciousness in Maya. The reflection of the sun in a pond, that is influenced by the movements in the pond. The wind that creates the movements, the agitations in the waters in the pond, in the lake, that will influence the reflection, not the original. The original is never influenced by it. The sun in the sky is not touched by the changes in the pond. in the lake. But the reflection, yes. Because the reflection gets shaken, but not the original sun. That is one meaning. Another thing is, abhasam also means that which is conditioned, apparently conditioned by the limiting adjunct. Limiting adjunct, upadi. Apparently conditions, it appears to be conditioned. Like the pot in a space appears to condition the pot space. Pot in a space appears to condition the pot space and divide the pot space. Divide the infinite space into two called as pot space and infinite space. But actually, gross pot cannot divide the subtle space. But still that appears to divide. Why? Because our attention is on the limiting adjunct, the upadi. So upadi, by staying closer to the space, it attributes or superimposes all its limitations on the pot space. The dimensions of the pot get superimposed on the pot space. The limitations of the pot get superimposed on the pot space. Then the pot space is a notion that gets firmly established. Pot space is not actually pot space, because pot space is also infinite space, but pot space is a notion because of the upadi. That notion is affected by ignorance. That notion, not even the pot space, the notion is affected. The notion is entertained in the internal organ, antahakarana. That is affected, that undergoes birth and death, that has bondage and liberation, that has got karmas, that has got sukha and dukkha, that has got duality. That is only affected by ups and downs. The notion of individuality, that is what is affected. The notion of individuality. What we are is only a notion of individuality, my dear friends. We don't have any reality associated with us. We think we are real. We are not real. We are a notion of individuality. Upadi only apparently divides. The pot only apparently divides the infinite space. The infinite space is never divided into pot space, cannot be divided into pot space. The upadi of body, upadi of mind, upadi of intellect, upadi of memory, upadi of ego can never divide the all-pervading supreme consciousness. Can only appear to divide the supreme consciousness. That appearance also is not actual division, but it is a notion of division, a notion of separation. The notion of separation is not entertained in consciousness. The notion of individuality is entertained in antakarana. So the bondage is for antakarana, bondage is not for the consciousness. Even when the pot space is not affected by the pot. The notion is affected. This is a pot space with reference to the upadi of pot. This is a pot space. This is a pot space is a notion. Where is that notion? In the internal organ. Who is affected by that limitation? Internal organ. So that is why people like Gurudev and Taponji Maharaj and Adi Shankara, who follow this line of Vedantic interpretation, has constantly been telling us, you are not this notion, you are not this container of notion, you are not this composition of notion, you are not this internal organ which is composed of four, buddhi, manas, chitta, ahankara. You are not that ego which is entertaining this notion, you are not even this notion. This notion leads to emotion, commotion, irritation, frustration. The notion is getting irritated. Not I. I am consciousness. How can I? The notion is bound. The notion is traveling from body to body. Notion is making the journey because of karmas. Notion is having sukha, dukkha. The notion, when it knows it is a notion, it disappears. When it disappears, what remains is consciousness, which always remained, which never came into existence because notion left. Notion is an appearance. That notion is you, that notion is I. That is what we are. The notion gathers karmas. The notion gathers desires. The notion has chitta. I am is a notion. Mine, another notion. Why did God start this? Hare, stop the notion. Come out of the notion. You think that you are not the notion. You are out of it. Even now you are out of it. But the notion repeats so fast, so fast, so fast, like the subatomic particles that repeat every 1/trillionth of a second. So fast, 1/trillionth of a second, they appear, disappear, appear, disappear, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So they give illusion of continuity. Even the physical level, there is an illusion of continuity. There is no continuity at the subatomic level. It is an illusion. The chair on which you are sitting at subatomic level is every 1/trillionth of a second appearing, disappearing. But somehow you are surviving on the chair. It is truth. According to quantum physicists, it is the truth. According to their experiments. But you don't experience that. Because you have no such subtle percepting capability to perceive that appearance and disappearance of the subtle particles, subatomic particles. So when they appear so fast, they give an illusion of continuity, where now the chair is safe. Otherwise, every 1/trillionth of a second, we are falling down, coming up, falling down, coming up. It is so fast. When we sit in a movie, 1/16th of a second speed, that reel is turned around. That speed only we can't see. What we can see, 1/trillionth of a second. 1/16th we can't notice. 1/16th of a speed, if stills are turned faster, we see them as continuity. Still is seen as continuity. So, at 1/trillionth of a second speed, how can we recognize? Same thing, this notion, egoistic notion, I am. This is going on so fast that it is giving a continuity. And an existence of a fabricated false entity. And this fabricated false entity is you and I, which has a body and which has all the issues. So ultimately, what are you and I? A notion. That is what is our autobiography. Next time when anybody wants to write, I am a notion. And the notion has biography. This is automatic notion, so autobiography. From page 1 to page infinity, same thing you have to write, I am a notion. Why? Because it is autobiography. Automated notion reappears again and again, goes on. Repeat mode, you keep your cell phones or your iPods, iPhones, repeat mode. Repeat one or repeat all. Repeat one forever. I am. And repeat all other connected notions. Goes on. So you have nothing to do. You go on. Till the charge is there, it goes on. Once the charge gone, then it leaves that body, go. Then again recharge. Again it starts. Again recharge. Every time you leave the body, you are recharging, because new body, new mind, new intellect, new things, but same old program. New computer, but old program. What can you do? It goes on. Notion. This is what is going on since ages. So, when you say, why did God bind me? God did not bind you. Notion is binding itself because of ignorance. Notion. That is all. When a thought is bound, do you mean to say you are bound? When somebody says, he takes one nice stick or iron rod and says, I am hitting your thought. Tadak, tadak. He is hitting your thought. He is imagining your thought, then tadak. Do you mean to go and complain to police department that he is hitting me? How can he hit you? He is hitting your thought. Even when somebody tears the photograph, you can't go and complain, you can't sue. He is tearing my photograph. Photograph only, no? That is his choice. So, notion is different from I. So, I think I am being troubled. This I am is a notion. When this smaller notion is feeling lonely, Adi Shankaracharya ji is telling, connect with a bigger notion. That will help you. Bigger manifested thing will help you. And finally, you have to go beyond all notions, smaller, bigger, macro, micro, everything go, and then finally arrive at consciousness. That is the journey. So, sabhasam, connected with the reflection of pure consciousness, atma, ajnanam, the nescience of the atman, shariradvaya karanam, which is the cause of both gross and the subtle bodies, uchyate avyakritam iti, is called the undifferentiated. Etat karana shariram, this is the causal body of atmanaha, of the atman. This is the causal body of the atman. So, that causal body of the atman causes subtle body and gross body also. From where the subtle body has come into existence? From the causal body. From where the gross body comes into existence? From the subtle body. So this causal state of nescience or ignorance of the Atman, this avidya, this maya, is it a commodity so that we can catch it? Is it a product so that we can put it in a box and lock it? It is not. It is not. So what is it? There is a trial to understand what is it. So what it is not is being said. So, tat cha na sat na asat, this is neither existent nor non-existent. अरे बाप रे, इसको है बोल के भी नहीं बोल सकते, नहीं है बोल के भी नहीं बोल सकते. अपने जैसा. Like us, sometimes people don't know whether we are existing or not. Sometimes people, when they get irritated, hey, are you living or dead? Hai nahi hai? They will ask, no? Like that only. Sat or asat. So it is neither sat nor asat. If it is existent, then all that becomes real, what it creates. If it is non-existent, then nothing will be there. Nothing will be there. In our experience, it is there. In reality, it is not there. So then what? That is why it is neither sat nor asat. Then, if it is neither sat nor asat, then maybe it is both. Then it is a napi sat asat, nor even both existent and non-existent. So then, na bhinnam, na abhinnam, neither different from nor identical with, or na bhinna abhinnam, nor both different from and identical with anything. There is nothing that is identical like that. It is neither identical with anything nor different from anything. It is nothing like that. Like this, there is nothing. So you can't compare only this with anything. So neither similar nor different, nor both different and identical with. So, and this ignorance or nescience is na niravayavam, neither non-composite, na sa avayavam, nor composite, na ubhayam, nor both composite and non-composite. How long you are going to tell like this? Neither this nor that, neither that nor something, or neither anything nor something. How long it will go? Is there any end to it? Or it is going on like that? Just because we are listening, you are going to talk like that? As long as we listen? Is there any end to it? Adi Shankaracharya said, whatever it is, but it has got an end. It will end. The moment it will end, we are out of the bondage. We realize our true nature. One good thing about it is, it will end. That is a beautiful thing. It will end. How it will end? Kevala brahmatma ekatva jnana apanodyam. Kintu, but kevala brahmatma ekatva jnana apanodyam. It is removable. Apanodyam, removable. It ends by the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and the Atman. The notion should start understanding that I am a notion in the ego, there is behind the ego the inner self. This inner self is not different from Supreme Self. I am neither the notion nor the ego, I am the inner self. This inner self is not different from the Supreme Self. When it understands that, Kevala Brahma Atma Ekatva Jnana Apanodyam, the avidya disappears, Maya disappears, notion disappears, one remains as pure consciousness. Continuing further, Sarva prakara jnana upasamhare buddhehe karanatmana avasthanam sushuptihi tad ubhayabhimani atma prajnaha etatrayam makaraha etatrayam makaraha makaraha. Sarva prakara jnana upasamhare buddhehe. When all the thoughts of the waking state and the dream states are withdrawn. Sarva prakara jnana upasamhare. When all the thoughts of the waking state, all the thoughts of the dream state are all withdrawn. And then, buddhehe karanatmana avasthanam. When intellect merges into the causal condition, the causal condition is ajnanam. When intellect merges into the causal condition, it is called deep sleep state. Is it not? Every day we go into this deep sleep state where our intellect is provisionally merged in ajnanam. When intellect is merged in ajnanam, ego also is merged in ajnanam. When ego also is merged in ajnanam, the problems of ego also are merged in ajnanam. Not that the problems are not there, but the problems are not expressively there. We are ignorant about the problems. In deep sleep state, when we go to sleep, we are ignorant about the problems. Because ego also is not there. Doer is not there. Doership is not there. Enjoyer is not there. Enjoyership also is not there actually. It is provisionally merged into ignorance. Actually, we can't even enjoy the sleep. If you are enjoying the sleep, now wake up and tell I am enjoying the sleep. We don't know. When we wake up, we give a benefit of doubt to ourselves. Yeah, I was the one who went to sleep. I am the one who woke up by His grace. Otherwise, I would have gone into permanent sleep. From temporary sleep to permanent sleep. So, I woke up. That means I am the one who slept. And the other people will tell, yes, you are the one because we suffered your sleeping. Because of the stereophonic surround sounds. We are the ones who are affected. So we were left behind, you went into sleep. All the while you will tell we are together but never in sleep. You always leave us behind because we can't catch you only because sound oh sound. One person asked one student who was a girl, what is your brother in college? She suddenly said, oh, he is half back. Half back. Then that person said, I am not asking about the games. I am asking about his studies. Oh, in studies, he is full back. So that also he takes that position, full back position. So, in our ignorance, we are like that, full back. Because, everything is merged into ignorance. The ego is not there. Problems are not there. Temporarily. When we wake up, they are there. So, temporarily, they are not there. So, that is what it is. All the thoughts connected with the waking world, dream world are merged. Meaning, the intellect is merged. They are withdrawn. Intellect is merged into the causal condition. It is called as deep sleep. Karanatmana buddhehe karanatmana avasthanam sushuptihi. Tad ubhayabhimani atma prajnaha. And that Atman which identifies itself with the dream state and meaning the deep sleep state and the causal body. So that Atman which identifies itself with deep sleep state and the causal body nescience, ignorance, is called as prajnaha. Completely ignorant. Prayena agnaha. Totally ignorant. So, it is called as prajnaha. Prajna. These three. Who are these three? Etat trayam. Who are these trayam? The prajna, the deep sleep state, and the causal body nescience, ignorance, are together called as Makaraha. Makaraha. So what is Makara? Prajna plus causal body plus deep sleep state. Prajna is equal to causal body ignorance plus deep sleep state. Deep sleep state plus causal body ignorance. So that is equal to Prajna. So now this Prajna, what is to be done? What we have to do? This Prajna, suppose, see, please understand. Now we know that everything becomes absent, provisionally merged in ignorance. So we are ignorant. So ignorant person is bound by Maya, bound by avidya. So because we are bound by Maya and avidya, it is playing games with us. Blindfolded we are. So what anybody does, we don't know. There are some games they play. They tie one of these boys blindfold, and sometimes other people will come and go on hitting on the head. Patak, 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 they will hit. And there is a game. By the intensity of the hit, he has to understand who hits. Patak, he has to guess correctly. Till he guesses, they will go on hitting. Till he guesses, they will hit. But he has to understand. That means he has to have a lot of experience of getting hits. And then he has to guess. The moment he guesses correctly, that fellow is blindfolded and everybody goes on hitting that fellow. Meaning, only knowledge will get that fellow out of hits because of blindfold. Blindfolding is ignorance, hits our experiences. Bondages, suffering, problems, they are all. That is a game. Olden days, that game was played to teach people how to go beyond ignorance. Children were taught in Gurukulas. Why? Because they play this. That means how to get out of the hits, you have to identify. Even when you are blindfolded. So while ignorance is there, then you have to seek knowledge, do sadhana, and then identify through that intuition. Then ignorance is removed. Then blindfold gone. Fatak. Brahma, Atma, Ekatva, Jnana, Apanodhyam. When you gain oneness, then it is gone. Those days, games used to teach oneness and liberation and pure consciousness. Nowadays, games, violence, dangerous things, frightfulness. Some games are like that. People become more violent. Think. So, now what is to be done? This person is to be identified with Ishvara. Suppose you think Ishvara is the ruler of Maya, controller of Maya. Maya is a servant of Ishvara. Ishvara is the Lord. At the individual level, as a prajna, we are bound by the ignorance. So Jiva is bound by the ignorance. Ishvara is the Lord of the ignorance, meaning he is the controller. Maya follows the direction of Ishvara. As an ignorant person, we are following the directions of Maya. So when we get oneness into oneness with Ishvara, what will happen? We will go beyond these limitations of ignorance. We become one with Ishvara. Suppose you go directly to meet some people, directly enter the president's residence. Will they allow you to enter? President's residence. Immediately they will catch hold of you and push you out. If you force your entry, they will push you into jail. Nobody will accept. Suppose the president only comes to receive you. President, when he comes to receive you, everybody will be saluting on. President's guest, बाप रे, president का guest है, तो best ही है. Naturally, no. President's guest, even the worst fellow also will be treated as great. Everybody will obey, everybody will accept. Because they are obeying the president and president is holding your hand and taking you. Oh, what a treatment. The whole White House will be filled with respect for you. Otherwise, nobody will allow us. They will neck us out. So, Ishvara is like that, where all the Maya. So, President and White House, Ishvara and Maya. The whole Maya is under the control of the Ishvara. Then once we are with Ishvara, all the Maya also will treat guest of Ishvara. Hello, how are you? Other times, it would have given left and right. Now, it will garland also. It will do namaste also. Everything it will do. When the dog sees somebody alone, sometimes when the dogs go berserk, they may bark, they may attack. But when the owner is holding their pet dog with a chain, sometimes they don't listen to owner's command also. So, with a chain which can be extendable till that fellow. So, till it goes to catch him, it can be extended, then you can pull it. So, then it will not do anything because it is controlled. So, Maya under the control of Ishvara, when we look at Ishvara and surrender to Ishvara, he will safeguard us. Suppose when you are walking in your subdivision, somebody else's dog is barking, you look at that owner. Because the owner, you look at the owner. Meaning, it is as if, why are you barking? So then he will understand, oh, then he will say. Then they will call the dog inside. Then it will keep quiet. That is all it is. Because it is identified, identification of the pet with the owner. That is all it is. Otherwise, you look at the pet, that will bark more. So you know the management. You can't manage the pet, you can manage the owner because he is sensible and he is responsible for the dog. So similarly, when the Maya is barking at you, look at Ishvara. Ishvara, okay, you are looking at me, that itself is your sadhana. Look at me. Otherwise, you are looking at so many unnecessary things. Look at me. That is happy. Ishvara will be happy. You are looking at me. Thank you. Not that he is craving for our attention, but he can do something only because you look at him. That is the condition there. Law. So unless you look at him, he can't do anything. So look at him, he will do. Then he will say, hey, chup, chup. Go in. So the Maya will go in. And you can walk freely in the world. Ha 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 ho 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 ho. Till next dog barks. So that is how it is. So being with Ishvara, is it not beneficial? Very beneficial. Why can't we be with Ishvara? We can identify with Ishvara. Unnecessarily we identify with unnecessary things. Connected with notion, anger, frustration, this, that, and can get drowned in it. We can never come out of it. Instead of that, please think that identification with Ishvara. Then, once that is done, then what we have to do? What else is there for us to be done? See, that identification itself, you disidentify from other things and identify with the higher. Gurudev used to say in a nutshell, detach from the lower, attach yourself to the higher. One line definition of Hinduism. Attachment with the higher. How? Detachment with the lower. And attachment with the higher. That's all. Very simple, very easy. So one line, one statement, the whole philosophy is said. Detachment from the lower, attachment with the higher. That is what is being told here also. Detachment with the micro, attachment with the macro. Meaning that identification with that. Finally, that also is not permanent. That is the glory of Vedanta. That also, don't think that you remain there like that. No. That is not your final destination. Still there is something more. Still there is something more. So the GPS says the new street is not in it. So the new subdivision is not on GPS. So after you come, you give me a call. All those people, they give me a call. Why? Because GPS, no GPS. Call me. I have to give direct guidance. So then you call. Now take a right and then come into the cul-de-sac and then turn around and go out. Are? What is it? Come into cul-de-sac and go out. Ye kya hai? I forgot, I forgot that, I thought, take right, instead of telling left, I had to go right. So now, okay. So sometimes we go round and round. If it is in Europe and India, they don't bother about roundabouts because they know how to go goal. But here, very rarely they have roundabout. Roundabout means what to do? Only exits. If you have to ask to go roundabout exits, Bapre, confusion only. People will go and wonder how these fellows in Europe are doing it. Roundabout, they go round and everybody go ting, 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 ting. And that is more safer. In India, who will go where you don't know. You think roundabout is clockwise, somebody comes anti-clockwise. Somebody comes diagonal. Anybody come from anywhere. But still everybody goes. That is understanding. That is the greatness of synchrony. Everybody understands that everybody can break the rules. So there is synchrony in breaking rules. Here everyone follows the rule. There everybody breaks the rule. Maybe a little exaggeration, but the understanding is there like that. Everybody understands. Like there is one person who went from Europe to India. And then the light was red. This fellow, going. That fellow held his heart. Red light you are going. He said, in this area we go in red light only. If I stop, there will be accident. Because everybody breaks. So if I stop, I will be hit. So, in green light, we may stop sometimes. Because you have to be careful, other fellow also is coming. Red light, nobody comes. That's how it is. So, what happens here is, once we reach that state of Ishvara, then GPS system will not work. Then we have to call, Hari Om. And then he will respond, okay, now I will give guidance, come on. Like that. So after that, some more states in a most subtle level which are not found in GPS. GPS only existing things are found, manifested. Even manifested also not there in new things. So that is why it is most subtle. So beyond GPS. So that is why here afterwards, now the Adi Shankaracharya takes us in a different direction. Laterwards. So please look into that. Akara Ukare Ukaro Makare Makara Onkare Onkaro Ham Yeva Onkaro Aham Eva Onkaro Ham Yeva. Very clearly it is said. Later on we will take up Sureshwara's also. More lucidly he will also tell. So, Akara Ukare, meaning the waking personality Vishwa. Who is Vishwa? The waking state plus gross body. That already we have, what we have to do that we have to merge into dream state, Ukara. Then Ukaro, which is the Taijasa plus dream state plus subtle body. Very good, subtle body. That, it has to be merged in that. Then that Ukaro, Makare, then the dreamer, Taijasa has to be, the Ukara has to be merged into Makara. The Prajna, the causal body nescience, and the deep sleep state. That is Makara. The Akara has to be merged in Ukara, Ukara has to be merged in Makara. Then Makara, what we have to do? beyond GPS. Makara must be merged in Omkara. That Om is everything. Akara, Ukara, Makara, Aum, Om. In that it has to be merged in that Om. Omkara. And then what will happen to Omkara? Omkara is to be merged in Aham Eva. Aham is the supreme consciousness, which is represented here as innermost self. The inner self is the supreme self. Inner self because we see mind, intellect, memory, ego and I-ness as inside. So behind that, which is deep in us as the substratum, that is inner self, which is everywhere, that is the supreme self. That Omkara is to be merged in Aham Eva. With this, if you chant Omkara, just think now, with this idea, Om. So where this merged into Atma. Aham Eva. So the gross body merged into subtle body merged into the meaning Akara into Ukara, Ukara into Makara, Makara into Omkara, Omkara into Aham. This is the moksha sadhana. Please understand. That is why Om is enough for attaining highest. With this understanding, if we do. That is why Sureshwara also says, Brahmatmaikatva vijnana heyam mithyatva karanat. By virtue of it being unreal, ajnana, Brahma Atma Ekatva Vijnana Heyam, it is destructible by the knowledge of identity of Brahman and Atman. Is more little stern. Destructible. Ajnana is destructible. Adi Shankaracharya said it goes away. More kind. That's right. Destructible. How? Brahmatma Aikatva Jnanam. That is what it is. So, it is said, he uses the example of Vivartavada. See, the snake is Vivarta of rope. Vivarta means without undergoing any transformation, it appears to be like that. Without undergoing real transformation, it appears like that. Rope, without undergoing any transformation, it appears like the snake because we don't see the rope properly. Similarly, the world is the Vivarta of Brahman. Brahman, without undergoing any transformation, it appears like that. Vivartavada. So, this is caused by ignorance. And this ignorance is the cause of all these appearances. And these, even now scientists are very honest in saying galaxies appear. Appear. Suddenly they appear. Suddenly they disappear. Even now the same thing is said. Thousands of years ago it was said here, they appear. They are all appearances. How is that appearance? Now the scientists are telling us same thing. They are appearances. At the micro level also, at the macro level also. All are appearances. The nebulae, the clouds of gases, is the essence of all these galaxies. They are all clouds of gases. Gas. If you take a hot air balloon and pin it, that is push. This is it. So what are you? So what are others? That is what it is. Push. Tus. This is what we are. Gases. That is why some people, when they go on telling bluffs, they say gas. Not only bluffer. Ego is a big bluffer. So it's a big gas. Next time when you see the balloon, you remember this. Gas. So, that is why here also Sureshwara says, all this will disappear. Ignorance will be destroyed. Then he goes on telling few things very nicely further. Vishvatai, it is not there, it is from Vartika. Vishvataijasa saushupta. Vishvataijasa saushupta. Virat sutraksharatmabhihi. Virat sutra aksharatmabhihi vibhinnamiva sammohat ekam tattvam chidatmakam ekam tattvam chidatmakam. Ekam tattvam chit atmakam. The one truth of the nature of pure consciousness appears sammohat vibhinnamiva. Appears through illusion as many. So the one pure truth of the nature of consciousness through illusion appears as many. Ekam tattvam chidatmakam sammohat vibhinnamiva. What are these many? Namely, Vishva Taijasa Saushupta means Prajna. Vishva Saushupta is another name. Vishva Taijasa Saushupta Virat Sutraksharatmabhihi. So Vishva Taijasa Prajna. And Virata Sutra, we already saw. Sutratma and Hiranyagarbha are same names. Sutratma also means Hiranyagarbha. And Ishvara also means Aksharatma. Aksharatma is another name for Ishvara. So, Virat Sutraksharatmabhihi. All this is one truth, appearing as many. So, what are we trying to do? From the micro, we merge it into macro. Then they also are merged into one. That one from where everything has come. So, that is why here it is said by our great masters, this is only a realization. Realization means that which you already are, you can realize. That which you are not, you can achieve. This is not an achievement. It is not self-achievement. It is self-realization. You are already the self. You only know. You realize that you are that. What you are not, you achieve. In the world, there are so many achievements. That achievements, you are not that. So you don't have that, you are not that, you achieve it. You are that. So we realize. We realize our true nature. Now, how this is to be merged, that also Sri Sureshwara says, Vishwadikatrayam Yasmat Vairajadi Trayatmakam Ekatvenaiva Sampasyet Anyabhava Prasiddhaye. Vishwa Adikatrayam. The three individual forms, Vishwa, Taijasa and Prajna, Sampasyet, must be contemplated. Ekatvena eva, as absolutely identical with. Sampasyet ekatvena eva. This is the line. Sampasyet ekatvena eva. Must be contemplated as identical with. What? Vairajadi trayatmakam. Vairajadi trayatmakam, Virata, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara. Vishwa Taijasa Prajna should be contemplated upon as identical with Virata, Hiranyagarbha and Ishvara. The corresponding collective three, namely Virata, Sutratma and Aksharatma, are Virata, Hiranyagarbha and Ishvara. Yasmat, so that Anya Abhava Prasiddhaye, so that the non-existence of differences of the entities may be established. How beautiful it is. What we have to establish? We have to establish that non-difference of the entities. The entities which look different are now established to be non-different. Non-different, because later on Sureshwara says, we will see that also, that the name and the named are not different. The name and the named are one and the same. So that is why we take the name here, Omkara, Akara, Ukara, Makara, and then go into that. So the three individual forms of consciousness are merged, sublated, by making them identical with three collective forms of consciousness. Individual forms of consciousness, sublated into, merged into collective forms of consciousness. And so, in the place of 6, only 3 remain. And then later the 3 also are to be progressively reduced into one pure consciousness. That is the continuing state of contemplation. Those 3 also have to be merged into one pure consciousness. So meaning what? We are born with that pure state of consciousness. Only thing is we don't know it. It is like somebody is given a demand draft of $1 trillion. $1 trillion demand draft is there in his pocket. He has not encashed it. He is with the $1 trillion. But he has not encashed it. If he encashes, he knows the power of $1 trillion. He can move that money and then he can buy something, he can become something and all that. But only demand draft is there. Then it is only written on his name. But it is not yet encashed. Like that, we are born with a demand draft, mukta. This fellow is liberated, born with a demand draft. To encash this, we have to do sadhana. Go to the bank, submit it, show the identity, and then write something, and then you take it. That is all. Open the account. So $1 trillion we can't give cash, so put it in account, and then pay tax. All that. This is all procedure. Draft is there. You are born with pure consciousness. Draft is already on our name. Moksha. Guaranteed. He is a mukta swarupa. Swarupa is mukta. Notion is not. Because we are thinking notion, so notion is not. Swarupa is mukta. So born with the demand draft. So what we have to do finally? Encash. How? Akaro, ukare, ukara, makare, makara, onkare, onkaro, aham, yeva. Or Vishwadikatrayam yasmat vairajadikatrayatmakam. Merge them. Then slowly, slowly, slowly. It is like that there was a top post of a multinational company. Topmost post. It was a $1 trillion company. Dollars and dollars, trillions of dollars. Top post. So they called for interviews. So many people, 12 candidates applied. And they set the interview date. And it was only 24 hours away from that interview date. Then comes a direct call from the president. My candidate is coming. And you know what has to happen? And they all say, yes, sir. If your candidate is coming, then that candidate will fit in that post, irrespective of qualification and selection procedure. But, sir, we cannot cancel these things because it is only few hours away. That is all he communicated. Put down the phone. Finished. The interview goes on. All the 12 candidates will come. 12 candidates will be asked questions. 12 candidates will reply. They will say to every candidate, we will let you know. We will inform you. But this candidate is already selected. The 13th fellow is selected. Before that is selected. But that fellow also has to attend interview. Formality. He has to wait till the 12 fellows go. Then 13th fellow comes. They will ask, what is your name? Then they will give appointment letter. That is the interview. Because the procedure, suppose they want to conduct procedure, they will conduct procedure. They will not let the candidate know also. So they will conduct the procedure. Interview, taka, questions they will ask. He will answer 3, he will not answer 10. But suddenly he will get an appointment letter. The president. Or India Prime Minister. India President, no use. Prime Minister. So, Prime Minister. Recommendation. Phone comes from the PM's office. Saab bole, le lo. That is all. The sir told, take him. That is all they will tell. No question of any normal state of telling and all that. How are you? Sir said, take him. Tuck. Finished. And they will take. Otherwise, there will be nobody to take them also then afterwards. The company may disappear. Who knows? Anything can happen. The selection committee can vanish into Omkara. Who knows? They are so powerful in contemplation. They can contemplate and send these fellows into that. We don't know. Manifest to unmanifest. So that is why they immediately say, yes sir, ho gaya. It's over. What? Your candidate is already the CEO. Only thing is procedure. That is all. So we are also born with recommendation from Brahman to Maya. Ye mera hai. So Brahman told Maya, he is my candidate. Khatam. Aur kya? What else? So we came with that certificate. Brahman recommendation. Told Maya, is my candidate. But procedure. So what we are going through now is procedure, interview procedure. Appointment guaranteed. Procedure. All that you have to do is procedure. So do best in our procedure. That's all. That's all it is. So what else? We have to do only that. That is the only thing that has to be done now. One friend of Lisa asked Lisa, I heard something from our other friends that you broke off your engagement with James. Why? What happened? Then Lisa said, not Mona Lisa, but Lisa. Lisa said, see, I had great feelings for James. And then I got engaged to him. Afterwards, my feelings for James changed. I do not have any more the same feelings. So I broke off the engagement. Oh, then that friend asked, Lisa, then you are still wearing his diamond ring and golden necklace? Oh, my feelings towards them have not changed. They remain the same. That is how it is. So, we can change our feelings for the Maya-filled world. And still continue to maintain the original feeling with the Brahman. Then what happens? Then we will get into that nicely. So, it is like, already decided thing. It is like, in a classroom, the teacher asked the student, tell me one example of coincidence. The student said, my mother and father got married on the same day. Coincidence. What can you do? So he thinks like that. So from his level of ignorance, it is coincidence. But you ask the mother, she will tell, Baapre, that was the horrible incident in my life. Whatever it is. So there was one woman who was telling to her friend, I was happily married for 5 years. Now it is all over. Pura khatam ho gaya. It's all over. Then the other friend, what happened? He is not showing same love anymore. He is not talking to you affectionately anymore. He is not getting you any gifts anymore. He is not spending time with you anymore. These are all normal experiences, no? That's why she is telling. He is not doing this anymore. Went on repeating list. Then this woman said, not like that. Nothing like that. Then what? Then how do you say that you are happily married and now it's all over? Immediately after our marriage, he went to a foreign country for doing job. Now he is coming back. I was happily married for 5 years. Now he is coming back. It is all over. So it depends upon how we think about, how we interpret. Otherwise, what is there? Now, Samadhi kalat pragevam vichintyati prayatnataha sthula sukshma kramat sarvam chidatmani vilapayet. The important point here is evam prak samadhi kalat. Thus even prior to the time of samadhi, vichintya atiprayatnat, contemplating on this truth with great care. Contemplating on this truth with great care. Vilapayet sarvam stula sukshma kramat sarvam chidatmani vilapayet. Sthula sukshma kramat sarvam chidatmani vilapayet. Vilapayet sarvam stula sukshma kramat. One should resolve. One should settle. One should determine. All these in the order of gross, subtle and causal states into Chidatmani, the Supreme Atman, which is the nature of pure consciousness. So the gross into subtle, the Virata into Hiranyagarbha, Hiranyagarbha into Ishvara, and Ishvara into Chidatmani, the pure state of consciousness. This sort of meditation, according to Sri Sureshwara, is called as Laya Upasana or Aham Graha Upasana. Aham Graha Upasana or Laya Upasana. So then what we have to understand is everything goes back into that state of merger, ultimate merger. In one of the Puranas, Vishnu Purana, it is very beautifully explained. Jagat pratishtha devarshe pruthivyapsu praliyate apaste liyante tejo vayau viliyate vayuschaliyate vyomni tacchavyakte praliyate avyaktam purushe brahman nishkale sampraliyate Purushanna param kinchit sakashta sa paragatihi. Very beautiful explanation. How everything goes back into pralaya, dissolution, and what happens finally, and what is happening actually, and how we have to take help of it and contemplate meditatively. Contemplatively meditate, meditatively contemplate. In Taittiriya, the reverse order is said. So, from Atman, Akasha came, from Akasha, Vayu, Vayu, Agni, from Agni, water, Adbhyaha, Adbhyaha, Prithvi, from water, Prithvi. So, from Prithvi, Aushadayaha, all plants, from plants, Annam, from Annam, Purusha, Annat, Purushaha, from Atmana, Akasha, Sambhutaha, downwards up to Annat, Purushaha. So, from here, how to go back? So very, very nicely. Jagat Pratishtha, Devarishi Narada, it is being said, see, Pruthivyapsu praliyate, the Prithvi merges in the water, Apas Tejasi liyante, the water merges into the Tejas fire, and Tejo Vayu viliyate, the Tejas or fire or light merges into air, Vayuscha liyate vyomni, the air merges into space, Tacha avyakte praliyate, tatcha avyakte praliyate. The space merges into avyakta. Avyaktam purushe brahman. Avyakta merges into purusha, who is Brahman. And that Brahman is, see what that merges totally into avyaktam purushe Brahman. Avyakta into purusha Brahman. That Brahman or that purusha Nishkale sampraliyate, that Brahman is Nishkala. Nishkala means completely pure. There is nothing other than it. And Purushanna param kinchit sakashta sa paragatihi. And beyond that, from where Purusha has to be merged into, beyond that, there is nothing. Purushat na param kinchit. Beyond Purusha, there is nothing. sa kashta, sa paragatihi. That is the final limit. That is the highest, greatest of all. So, slowly we have to take and merge into Purusha, Parama Purusha. That is where we go through this contemplative meditation. When we start, we finally land in the Parama Purusha. So, in one Omkara, when we say Om, this is what merger happens. So, if with this knowledge we repeat Om, 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 we will go into that state of realization. Not only that, I can tell you one thing, that there are people in US who have done good research on this. The vibrations that Om creates, the levels of consciousness we reach when we contemplate upon Om, even when we say Om, the levels of consciousness which happen to us when we contemplate upon Om is equal to the levels of consciousness in a realized master. In a realized master, because of the purity of the instruments, the way in which the manifestation of that consciousness happens is called as levels. So, the Om is equal to that state of realization, much more than that. So, please think how important it is. So, if we, with this understanding we do it, then we will come to that level. So, tomorrow we will see the final conclusion of Panchikaranam, how all that higher level things are said, but also we will also see practically how we have to go beyond fear. From Bhaya to Nirbhaya, through the Abhaya of Omkara. So, we have to travel from the state where we are in fear to fearlessness. So, how to go beyond fear and then be there in that state will be our theme for tomorrow. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।